Hello and welcome everyone to Healing Space with Gently Healing. I am Jen Tilley and I am excited to be with you guys today. Hello, Willow. It's nice to see you in here. Today, I'm very excited. I have a guest that is a old client and friend of mine that has written a new book. Her name is Sierra Faith, and she's in the background right here waiting to be pulled on. So I'm going to do a couple clicks and get her into our space. Hello, Sierra. How are you
Hi,
today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm so happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you. I see your face.
Yeah, I know. I see yours too. It is awesome. And your hair is darker now than the last time I saw you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice. We have a few people in here so far. We have Willow and we have Sammy in here and also Gary. Hello. It is nice to see you guys. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Hi. So this is Sierra Faith, and today she put out her brand new book, and I wanted to hear all about it. Tell us about it. Talk about the title and how you came up with it, and all the fun parts of that.
Yeah, so the book is a poetry memoir that goes through about a year and a half of my life. And, I wrote through kind of experiences of, addiction as well as recovery and healing and, some of the events that led up to that, as well as, really beautiful moments of coming into a new version of myself. And so it's a short little story. It's got poems and stories and letters in it. I wrote a poem about the process of becoming addicted to those toxic thoughts and behaviors and things like that. And just, I kind of was sitting there just like, my life is so chaotic. My mind is so chaotic. And I ended up coming with that title, just Addicted to Chaos. And it kind of takes you through all of that chaos and all of that, the crazy things that we end up putting into our lives that we really don't need to. And then kind of the process of getting out of that and figuring out, how do I want to be in this world? How do I want to think and feel? And being able to choose that over, those addictions and behaviors that I was initially portraying to the world. Um, yeah.
That is so awesome, Sierra. And at what point, like addicted to chaos, like that is a very interesting thing to like then decide. Here is that addiction. What was that like for you, and how did you come to that?
Um, it just kind of being aware, I guess, like when writing this story, I was in the midst of still in that mindset, that victim mindset. And, I was writing this as a kind of a processing tool of like what has happened in like this short amount of time. And just as I was reading through it, I was portraying those thought loops that you get into of just like over and over and over again. And it became so repetitive.
Hmm.
And so it was just kind of like actually seeing that in physical form of like, this is how my brain is working,
Hmm.
kind of brought me to that point of like, okay, that's where I'm at, and I don't want to stay there. And I
Hmm.
certainly didn't want to put out a book that was just like constant rehashing of trauma. Like nobody
Yeah.
would want to read that.
Right. Right. So
So
what were some of the steps like when you're seeing this addiction of your mind and the chaos of that looping? What were some of the steps that you utilized to like stop doing that or get yourself to here?
I took it one thought at a time, I guess, of just like, what was at the forefront of my mind today, and how many times did I keep bringing that back up into my mind. And so it was just a day by day process of noticing it in the moment and changing it, and then repeating that new thought that I wanted to implement. And just break one thought at a time. And it took really long. I still do it. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
But it, just being aware at all times of what we're thinking because I very easily slip into that, like, I get distracted by one thing and my brain just goes after it, and
Yeah.
I won't even be, present with anything that I'm doing in my day. So that's been really important with, my journey and trying to change that.
That is so awesome, Sierra. Like that is such a profound and deep kind of digging on self. Uh, that is just really cool. So, can you tell us where we can get your book, Addicted to Chaos, and how that
Oh
process
yeah.
goes?
It's right now it's available on Kindle format, so you can get it on Amazon. I'm under a pen name, Alice AU, which I was originally not going to tell anybody that I wrote the book, but that didn't happen. So it's Alice AU
A like
on,
the letter A and the letter U, or
yeah.
okay.
And so yeah, it's on Kindle. The paperback should be coming out in the next week or so, hopefully.
Oh, wow, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome. So here you are. What inspired you to get into writing? Because that is just such a cool creation and avenue to go down. What is your
Yeah.
history with the writing?
I've always liked doing artsy stuff as a kid. Like I was super creative. I ended up in eighth grade. I got really into English, and I was getting, into like the honor classes and the AP classes, and just kind of utilizing that tool and learning. And I didn't end up going to high school. I was homeschooled and just living at home. So I got a freelance writing job with an online magazine when I was 14, and started working kind of like how does this look in a career like aspect? Is that something that I wanted to do? And I did that for about 3 months, and then decided that, I wanted to try a book. I wanted to be like self-employed. I didn't want to work for somebody else.
Yeah.
So I just started practicing and practicing. And then, as I became an adult and kind of had more stories to tell, more, experience and, things that I wanted to say that I'm not much of a speaker. So at that time, there was a lot that I just wanted to get out of my system.
Hmm.
So yeah, and then this wasn't originally going to be turned into a book, but it ended up being that way, and I'm really glad that it did. So kind of living my dream career now, I guess.
That is awesome, Sierra. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you and I love you so much. It's just really
Oh,
rad to like hear that. You also have like a cool journey, and I believe you shared with me that some of this like Addicted to Chaos book that you've written was like part of that journey, like going out onto the road and what that was like leaving the parents' house. And you definitely did the gypsy lifestyle for a
yeah.
bit of time, and I would love to hear like a little bit of that story, or if you could share it with all of us, so they kind of see your badass self that you are.
Yeah, I moved out, right when I turned 18, and I I just I went balls to the walls crazy. Like I just like traveling and going different places and meeting new people, and I was going back and forth between like, sleeping in trees, and then I would like, sometimes stay at a hotel, and sometimes I'd go over here, and sometimes I'd meet this guy and stay with, this person, and just like living this like completely opposite lifestyle than I had before, just to see what it was like. And it led me all kinds of places. I mean, I went, up through Northern California and into Oregon, and then ended up in Seattle. Ended up staying here. Like I just was hanging out in Sammamish and was like, I like it here, and just put down roots. So it was a really test of like faith, because I was going right into the unknown. I had no idea what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, and I just kind of let the world or the universe like kind of guide me into, where I was supposed to be, and it all worked out. It was really scary at times. Like
Sure.
just like, waking up and I'm in San Francisco and I'm like, where am I going to go today? Um,
Do you find how sorry to interrupt you, but
no, you're good.
how, like when you have those scary situations and you met yourself in that space and you survived it and here you are, do you like how do you apply that to your life today when certain situations come up? Like how does that affect you now?
I still find it very uncomfortable. Um, but I think being content in that unknown is what I try to work on. I think when we're in a space where we don't know what's going on and we don't know where to go, I think it's really important to just like sit in that for a little bit, be okay being in it, and then allowing that guidance to come. And it always does. I think you just
Patience.
really have to have that patience. You have to have trust in yourself that it's going to be okay, and you're going to end up where you're supposed to.
Yeah.
So that's always been really important for me, but I still struggle with it at times.
Mm, that is that is quite the story. I like to go out on your own that way and just call it like follow the next indicated step and here your name is Sierra Faith, and one of the things you talked about is just having that faith, and I talk sometimes on the show about how names are blessings and curses, and it's like there's this part that you honored to that and you had faith in yourself to go and try these new adventures. So that is really awesome. So now, like today, you have one avenue where your book is available on Amazon through Kindle. Look up LSAU and Addicted to Chaos. There's another plug for you. um, what do you see now? Like now that your book is wrapping up, and where do you find yourself in this space, and how does that feel like now, like in the now?
Right now, I'm just like really relieved that like I got to today. um, I Yeah, just really relieved. Really, I hit a lot of points in this editing process that I was just like ready to just burn the manuscript and just be done with it. But I'm really grateful that I didn't, and I'm really, proud of myself. Which is kind of weird because I don't always let myself like sit back and be like, oh, I did that.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of letting today be that day where I'm like, I did it, and I get to be happy about it.
Good.
Um,
Good.
yeah. So I'm very relieved it's being received fairly well, and I'm really happy that people are liking it and um, taking it to heart, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. That is really, really cool. You've done a big journey of just a lot of self work. And I think that it's just so rad that we get to have someone like you come into our space and share this part of your journey for sure. You also say that, you've been very creative. So you not only are an author, but you also do other kinds of art, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, tell me like a little bit about like the like you paint and like what drew you into that and how do you utilize that today and how is that also an outlet for you?
I've been painting for a long time too. I owned my own art business back in Vegas, and when I first started my creative pursuits, I felt like I was, creating art for other people and, doing what they liked and telling other people's stories. And so when I moved out here, also during the writing process of this book, I was painting a lot, just, what was I feeling and expressing at the time. And they're kind of unique. I don't think they really fit in a genre of paintings, but it's been really good. It's just you shut that part of your mind off for a moment and you're able to just like express that emotion in a really unique way that I enjoy doing. So it's been really cool. And I try to tie, with the book and the illustrations and painting all into the same story so that I can kind of like put them out at the same time and kind of give like a different view of like, what I'm expressing, if that makes sense.
No, it totally does. It
Yeah.
totally does. I think that this one of like parts of our journey that's so important is to constantly be creating and finding different avenues to express ourselves so that we can find a space in which we can bring like creativity and logic in there or be able to silence our minds and just be in this own creative space. And I think it's just really neat that you found several different aspects and actually utilize them like writing and also painting. And like when you take those things and you think about the title Addicted to Chaos, like is there a silence within the storm when you're doing this? What is that? What does that evoke?
Yeah, I think silence in the storm is a good way to put it. Creating has always been kind of that like escape's not the right word, but a way to process the chaos without being in the chaos, I guess. And so, it was writing, is a safe place to be able to say the words of what is happening without any of those other doubts and fears coming in the same way with painting of like, I can express this emotion without, that fear of being, judged or seen or being vulnerable. And I think that helps too, is like once you get that out on a piece of paper or canvas, it's much easier to speak, I found.
But one person does see that. You.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very
The
true.
most important person within that space is you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy sometimes. I'll write something and then I'll read it back to myself and I'll be like, I had no idea that was inside of me. It's
That
very
is.
interesting.
I've been privy to be able to see your art. I can't remember. Do you have your art up on your Facebook page if anyone wants to see it? Because it is. You have a very unique art, and it's it's just really rad. I love your art very much, and it's how do you describe it? Because it's like so many different genres. I feel
Yeah.
like what I've seen, and and yeah, it's just very unique to you, and I just love that. So, is it somewhere that somebody could see, or
I think it's still on Facebook. I had a Facebook page called Sierra Faith Art. I know that most of it is on my Instagram, which is Alice AU Writing,
ah,
um, or Alice AU Writes, I think it is.
yeah.
But yeah, I share a lot of it on social media. Yeah, I'm not sure about the Facebook thing though, if it's still on there, because that was from a couple of years ago. But the most recent ones are on Instagram.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
So, what's do you have plans for your next creation? Is there like once one door closes, sometimes there's ideas that are coming. Is there a flow of any of that or sparks of, ooh, this is the next thing I'm going to create about myself?
Definitely. I actually started writing my second book while dealing with the stress of publishing the first one. Um, so
Awesome.
I've begun my next project and I'm still playing with different ideas of, what I want to say and how I want to do it. And I've kind of just been building up, brainstorming, and I've got a bunch of art supplies that I'm picking up tomorrow to just start that next phase. And I'm hoping that flow continues of like once that one ends, then I'll have the idea for the next one, and it can just kind of build on itself.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. It's I find it so interesting that when we're like doing the things that we love and we're listening to that next indicated step, just like writing your book and doing your creations, that there's even more that just kind of permeates in, and you can use that and express yourself with that, and it's just cool that you're listening. When it comes to like the navigation of your mind and the wisdom that you could share with us, are there meditations and certain kinds of breathing or like things that you have done like outside of the creative space, if you will, like the actual expression into the physical realm, like writing and art?
Definitely. I do a lot of meditation. I'm like kind of spinning on different ones, but I think in this process, there's two different kinds of meditations I do. I'll do a like kind of I call it a maintenance meditation where there's like I do that throughout the day of like checking in with myself and the thoughts and the energy and Jen taught me how to do the Merkaba meditations and whatnot. So those maintenance ones that I do every day, and then I'll go into more intense and in-depth meditations that I'll do for a certain amount of time through the months. And so it'll be everything from you know I think during this process of the book, trying to remember certain aspects of my memories, I would do kind of I'm not sure if astral projection is the right word, but just like bringing myself back into that space from a different perspective and being able to process that internally and just being just kind of I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. like track those wires back in my brain, I guess. And then, if difficult emotions or fears come up, being in that space, I'm able to kind of rewire myself into, this isn't my present moment. This isn't reality, and I can detach from it. I think that's really important. I had to work through a lot of fears, and so I use that kind of a meditation a lot of, bringing myself outside of my body and into a different space in my mind. I think that made sense. Does that
It
make
did.
sense?
It did. It did. It's
Okay.
very beautiful, Sierra, and what a great creation within your mind to be able to construct yourself that way. Uh, Meditation, I find, is profoundly beneficial when it comes to doing the healing work and navigating the world of chaos, especially addictions, such as addicted to chaos. And I
Definitely.
yeah, I definitely. Had found myself in previous times talking about how I felt as though I operated the best within chaos. And then it was very fascinating to find how much of that I was creating in order to remain operating. And then the reality is that chaos just exists out there. And how is it that I actually want to be in that space and show up as this balanced person within that? And I think the meditation has been very beneficial. So thank you for sharing about your meditations and the benefits that it's had for you. It's awesome. So I have a question in chat for you from Kala, and you've also had many people in here say hello to you. We have quite a few viewers today, so hello to all the beautiful viewers out there. The question for you, Sierra, is what advice or tips would you give to someone who wants to write on the publishing process?
Um, I think networking was really important. I think meeting different people and different types of in that process. I'm reading the question again. I think the audio is kind of breaking up from my side.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a lot of help with the publishing process. A lot of my friends and acquaintances kind of, circled around me and guided me through that. I definitely think that reaching out, even just complete strangers, you can find people almost anywhere now that we have like the internet and whatnot. And, networking, I think I went through some freelancers that, their job was to look through manuscripts and just give general feedback. And there's people out there who can give you more editing advice. And I just spent a lot of time just talking to people and kind of being able to map in my brain, how that all works. So I definitely think having people is really important. And I like working with freelancers because it's just a one-on-one thing, and you can kind of build that relationship and get to know them, and it just becomes more personal. It doesn't feel so, business like. Um, so yeah, I hope that answered your question.
yeah. Let us know if there's any more questions like Kala on that. I think you articulated that very well. So yeah, let us know if you had any deeper questions on that, or if any of you guys have questions for Sierra, please ask, and we'll keep them coming. So with your journey into like the metaphysical side, I know that I feel that there's been many gifts that you have. Like you've had some very powerful and profound dreams, and I feel like some of the work that we did with one another was really uncovering like what those dream spaces were like. How do you feel that dreams have played into your life, and how have you chosen to utilize them?
Can you repeat the last part of your question
Oh,
again, Jen? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
it's okay. I wonder why our audio is doing this. You are a powerful girl, Sierra. I love you. Some of the things that like we worked on was like within dream spaces. You have very profound dreams. Would you agree with that? Uh,
Yes.
yes. You did catch all that?
Yes. Okay. Profound
Okay.
dreams.
Yeah,
I
I
caught
kind
I
of
caught most of it. I think
yeah.
you asked you said profound dreams, correct?
Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay.
yes. So I was going to talk a bit about your dreams
Yeah.
and just how intuitive you have been within that dream space. So not only like in this life, are you going and learning to live your dreams by writing and creating? But you also have your space when you're sleeping, and in that space, you have very profound dreams. And so I was just wondering about your dream space, if there's anything you could share with us about that and what you've learned with that.
Yeah. I thank you for repeating the question. Um, my, I go through periods of times where I have very vivid dreams and periods where I don't. But when I do, I find that there's a lot there. There's been times where I've dreamed of instances that ended up, happening. There's times where I have dreams where I'm put back into a past situation. Um, there were even, I experienced a loss, and for a while after that I had very vivid dreams of being in a space where that person was alive, and it would be like I'd wake up and I'd be living my day, and then I'd go to sleep and wake up in a different universe that was just so real and vivid, and live out that day. And I've learned in our work to analyze it and be able to break it apart, and what does this mean, and how can I what do I need to shift, what do I need to do, what is this telling me. And that's been really important through my process, or through the journey. And I found that I used to be very overwhelmed with my dreams, because of how real and intense they felt, and in being able to like learn from them and take that as a learning opportunity, I can they're not as intense. That fear is not there when I go into sleep, and that helps with my normal sleep schedule, as well as I feel like I'm also being productive even when I'm sleeping, because I'm still active and working on something in that space. So yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome. I think it's very important to like shine lights on like that there is all these different avenues and angles, like through dreams and through our immediate realities, and how much that actually can affect us. And thank you for sharing that, because I agree, and it's so awesome to have seen you just grow and develop. It's been really rad for sure. I was wondering, when it comes to your book, Addicted to Chaos, which you can buy on Amazon today for Kindle. Um, as I plug you again, if you would be willing to read us an excerpt or a poem or something from your book and share that with us.
Yeah. I was, when we were on the phone earlier, I had thought of a couple pages that I think would be really relevant. I I have two poems that I can read. Um,
Yay!
I as I was pulling these up, I realized that I haven't read these out loud since they've been edited. And I got kind of nervous. So
Oh
here we
no!
go.
Oh,
All right.
you're in a good space. It's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah. So the first poem I want to share is called The Tragic Scene of a Play. So the tragic scene of a play, only an artist would find that beautiful. I thought my bruised hands were poetry, and my drunk dancing could be sung. I thought the face of every bad memory could be painted and hung. I thought my bared bones resting right beneath the skin would be the picture of beauty and not every sin. My insomnia was a riddle only the poet could solve, and the glass beneath my feet would make my blood evolve. It wasn't until my hands pulled the canvas sheets over the room that gentle skin and fragile knuckles were my heart's IQ. The swaying in the kitchen was the most beautiful song I ever heard, and the smiles of every friend I've made were the ones I graciously hung. The curve of my hips and the dips on my mace made the most wonderful pictures, and sleep brought sweet stories to the pages, roses in my literature. Cleaning up the glass brought healing to my fleet, and breathing air in the trees made my blood finally run clean. So that's the first one.
Wow.
And then,
Wow. Wow, 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 Sierra. That was so freaking beautiful and so profound and so much depth within that space. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Just you can hear how you just picked yourself up, pulled yourself out of the trenches, and recognized that it was you all along. But you also had, oh, there were so many layers. I can't wait for the next one. Okay, okay. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I had one more. I This one's kind of funny. I wrote this when I was actually in the process of editing the book, and I was really frustrated with my editor.
Yeah.
So I wrote a page of thoughts that I was not going to edit, and I wanted to share that.
Okay.
So, isolation is a disconnection from the world per se, for I can sit on the park swings while watching the birds eat breakfast and be content. Isolation is a form of disconnection of the feelings of hollow burdens that you can't seem to embrace. When the earth screams at you, asking for attention, and all you do is stand still. Isolation, as it is a disconnection from the very core soul source. A paintbrush becomes a paintbrush, a pen is just a pen, and the words only become words. And when we're at the park and it just becomes grass and trees with no meaning that come from the roots and the cells and all the atoms that create the very world around us, it's as if the world itself has ended because it cannot be seen. Isolation is a disconnection from the people around you, and no empathy pulls strings from your heart. When no loving kindness comes out of you when you see someone you've known deeply and gratefully for all these years. Disconnection is isolation, and isolation is disconnection, and disconnection will always lead to some addiction or so ever. So are you leaning on a substance, clinging to a thought, falling on melancholy every time the world spins around again? A song that makes you cry, or maybe you're washing your hands 10 times a day hoping to feel clean. At some point, these are all addictions, and it leads to chaos. Chaos around you, within you, and the chaos suddenly takes control of what you used to manage, and what made you used to feel powerful is suddenly leaving you with nothing. Isolation is a destroyer, and love is a healer. When you stand alone in the darkness and you allow light to shine from your heart, and joy is able to bring some kind of relief to you, this becomes life itself. If you find yourself in isolation with no human contact to share the words that you would need to be spoken, then whisper them to yourself. Shine a little brightness into your life because you are here and that is the only connection you need. Isolation is a choice, and disconnection is a symptom. So learn to stick your feet in the ground, lift your head up to the clouds, and scream I love you at the top of your lungs, even if you're doing it as quietly as a mouse. Okay, that's what I wanted to share.
Oh my gosh, Sierra. That brilliant, brilliant mind. Like, can we get like a round of applause in the audience for reals? Wow. Seriously, Sierra. I just love your mind so much and just how you unravel the twist because it is a twist and how you bring it back and it is a perspective. It is so beautiful, Sierra. Thank you so, so, so much for sharing. You have people, wow, wow is
Yeah.
right, you know? It's just like so beautiful. I guess it just started raining where Willow is, like literally cleansing the earth with your words. That was so beautiful, Sierra. That was awesome. Yes, scream it. I love you. That is awesome. Look
Thank
at that
you.
feedback from the audience. Like seriously, you guys. Thank it's the fam, the whole fam out there. Isn't that just so awesome? Yes, and you got more rounds of applause. Yay! Oh my gosh, Sierra. Yes, her book is
Thank you. That
available
makes me feel so
today.
warm inside.
Yes. No, seriously, Sierra. Like what a journey you, even if it looks like taking steps back, you were always taking the steps forward. It was always right here now. And I just think that is so so good. I missed a comment up here from Kala when you answered her question. She said that was great. Thank you. Networking is so beneficial. So I want to pull that in. So back to what you had said way
Absolutely.
back. And then the expanded fearless family. We are here, and this is what the journey of listening to your heart and following those next indicated steps. And sometimes it's learning to navigate through that chaos and looking at yourself. Oh my gosh, all the layers of
Yeah.
addictions that can be there. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it. Sierra, thank you. I could go on and on. I probably could say that 600 more times and that still wouldn't be enough. So, um, so neat. like there's things that are just like running through my head. I'm like, what else can we have Sierra share with us today? One of the really cool things like about Sierra, you guys, like she literally gives, like I always say, ginormous hugs and hugs and hugs. And I've just always been such a big hugger. And like Sierra is literally like has the world's best hugs. The permeates the
Oh no, I
soul.
can't hear you.
Ah, well, I'm telling if other people can hear. Oh, it should be coming, Sierra. Can you hear me now? But can you hear me now? No, it's our energies.
I can
It's
kind
so
of hear you. Okay, I can
strong.
hear. Sorry.
Balance. We'll think, root this energy. Your powerful words permeated our space and brought the rains in certain people's realities. Can you hear me now? I don't know if she can hear me. Can you hear me, Sierra?
I'm catching every like fourth word.
Oh, well,
Now I
let's
can't hear
see.
you.
Let's see. Ground the energy. Let's see if we can ground out the beautiful energy that's here and bring it into the space. But, like, can you hear me now? I wonder, how do we do this? Do you exit the studio and then try and re enter? Yeah, you can hear me. Pause for a hug. Sierra.
Did you say to exit out of the thing?
Yes. Like if you
Okay.
want to try and exit out and then re-enter back into the studio, we'll bring you back in. I want you to be able to hear what's happening.
Okay.
Okay. So we should be able to bring her back in here in just a moment. I'm sure you heard all of that since you says right here. I could hear you. Oh man, isn't Sierra like freaking amazing, guys? Like seriously, she is such a rad girl, and just so honored to have been able to meet her in my life and be able to work with her on such an intimate level and to see the growth. I was sharing, and as Steve had said, pause for a hug, for reals, pause for a hug. Sierra literally has the best hugs I have ever like equally met with another hug, where it's just that joy. Device is not connected. She is coming. So I hope that all of you at some point get a chance to hug her in real life, because she is incredible at that. Hello, Sierra. Welcome back. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you much better. Thank you.
Okay, good. Good. Welcome. I was just sharing with everyone about how you are an awesome hugger.
Aw.
Yeah, serious. So fun you are as just a human and metaphysical being beyond that you are. So thank you for being here. And yeah, one of I guess the stories like that we had talked about that I like to share with you is, when you start to do this self work, you guys, and loving yourself is a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift that you're given, and it's honoring that gift. And as we started doing the work, Sierra and I, like when we first began, she was teaching. And so she was a teacher also. She is a teacher, if you can't tell with her writing. And so there was just like this energetic space that you kind of were learning about, like the chaos and how to be able to balance yourself within it. And there was just like within, what was it, the first week or two that we began working with one another, you realize the power of our energy. And we're very powerful beings, and when you start to understand that, and then also that we're each given like special gifts, or these gifts, it's not it is yeah. So I would love it if you would share with what that was like on learning, like when you have like somebody in your life that might be annoying kind of story, and then like what you were doing within that space, and then what ended up happening. Right, you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So my coworker at the time, she was she had a lot of energy. She was very like sporadic, and it would kind of bother me because I'm much more calm on the calmer side, and so I was absorbing a lot of that and getting irritated or drained. And so one of the things Jen and I was working on was, having that protection and being able to like push that energy out of your space, and just like, remaining calm. And so it was, I think, after a couple weeks of us working together, we were outside. I was a toddler teacher at the time, so we had the little play space for the kiddos, and there was this, sheltered deck, and there was lights that were above it because we would go out in the evening time. And so it was during the day, the lights were off, and we were outside, and she was just coming at me with all of this energy, and I was getting so angry. And and I did that. I was thinking of Jen, and I just like pushed the energy out, and the lights above us just blew on and just like really bright, and then dimmed out. And she's just like standing there, and her and I have never spoken about energy, but she looked at me and she was like, "What did you just do?"
Yeah.
And it was just so insane. And you
And
know,
I
just and
didn't
I
hear
it,
if you had
just so
explained this.
powerful.
Yeah, is that this light, in order for it to be turned on? I'm sorry if I didn't hear it. Was like you had to have the whole lockbox. Did you explain that? That for this light that you had turned on, that it like literally you had to have a key to unlock the door.
Oh yeah, no, the lights were in the shed, and you had to have a key that like maneuvered the switch inside of the shed open. And it was a whole process. I mean, the light switch wasn't even in our area. It was in a different playground to control our lights. And so like there was no way that anyone had like turned the lights on. And
Except for you.
I'd even investigated it because I was like, maybe this didn't happen, and I was asking people.
Yeah. So like bring in the logic, but at the same time, it is very amazing what we can do with our energies. And so she is a bright young woman, and I am telling you, you guys, it's so rad that she's here with us today. It's serious. Like it was a fun journey when you start to do that self work and you start to see that there is just so much more going on inside this world. It becomes very psychedelic and even more. So have fun with it, right?
Definitely.
Cool. So, here it is, and I did you like we had kind of mentioned before, but you do beautiful meditations on your own. Is there any kind of meditations you'd be willing to share with us today, or have you thought on that at all?
um I don't know. I've never spoken of meditation before.
Ah,
Um, I think that I've been lately, there's this meditation where you breathe into like the three different brain centers in your body. So, like um, is it your stomach, your heart, and your mind? And just bring awareness there. I wouldn't know how to conduct that, but that's what I was
okay.
kind of, when you asked me that earlier, that's what I was thinking about, but I didn't have a chance to like sit down and think about how to portray that, um, if that makes sense.
No, it made total sense. I think doing a meditation where
Oh
we
my
pull.
gosh.
Uh, no, I can hear myself echoing there. Do you have this sound turned up at all?
Do I have my sound turned up?
Mhm. Like on like one of your devices on YouTube? No.
No, but your sound is cutting out again.
Okay. Is it bad sound? Like is it not working very well? I wonder. We will try and figure this out.
I can see you talking. I can't hear you though.
Okay. Hmm. I wonder what can we do here? I wonder if I pull my camera out this way and pull you up. Well, do you want to be full screen? Ah, no. Add to stream. Uh, did that do anything? No. Let me try and pull myself out of stream. Did that do anything? Can you hear me now? No.
Kind of. Here, let me.
Okay, let me come back in. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes there's technical difficulties, and this is what happens. And now you're on top. I like that. I like that. Can you hear me? No.
Kind of.
I wonder if we do this, Sierra. Um, do you any of you guys have any more questions for Sierra? Because what we can do, and I can certainly try and get her to come back in, but we could pull in and all do a meditation together and have Sierra maybe not be on screen with us. Can you hear me at all, Sierra? No. Okay. Well, you guys, technical difficulties on this end. Why don't you exit and come back? Exit and come back. Yeah. We'll see if she'll come back. And maybe it will work that time. But she has been with us for about 50 minutes now. And a lot of times when you are doing these interviews, that is quite a lot of time for a lot of people. You guys, Sierra, again, is so awesome. Addicted to Chaos is the name of her book. We'll see if we can't get her back in here and we can all do a meditation together. If not, I love her idea of doing our meditation together today, where we pull in our three brains, the three parts of opening up our mind, our heart, and our gut, bringing in that intuition. So again, here she is, kind of popping up. It looks like in the background. So let's see what happens here. But I would say, like, once she comes in here, try and move forward with the meditation together so that we can kind of get this episode going into a meditation realm. Hello, Sierra. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yay! Yay! Okay. So welcome back. I am so glad that we were able to pull you back in here. I had asked the people if they had any more questions for you, and no one has quite written anything. So I thought that we could maybe move forward with a meditation. I like your idea of the meditation. I am so grateful that you came. Is there anything more you want to add about your story? Anything more about you? I could go on with you, I think, for a very long time, but we're at like 51 minutes so far. So.
Yeah. The only thing I thought of this while we were talking on the show, I when writing the book, touching on difficult experiences and traumas, there was, a lot of concern of like transmuting the trauma into the book, and that would affect readers. And so, um, you know, in the editing process of like breaking that down and being able to portray it in a way where you're kind of guiding people in and out of the beauty of life as well as the darker moments. And I did kind of want to communicate that because I feel if people want to express that side of themselves, like it's really important that you're not traumatizing other people. And I've discussed that with a lot of people in my process of putting that book out. And so I wanted to just say something about that on here. Um,
Love that.
I had definitely like a identity moment of like, this isn't who I am now, but I'm writing the story. And so I think that, that's really important that, if you're in the process of creating or expressing yourself, whether you're a speaker or a writer or anything, that, finding that balance of being honest and vulnerable while also maintaining that centeredness. So yeah, that's what I thought of.
I love that because I often share about like trauma shares. Be careful what you're sharing, right? And being able to still like tell your story and honor it without doing like a trauma share where you end up transmuting that energy. And how beautiful, Gary says, yay. But how beautiful that is that you took that into consideration and that you were able to understand the power of your energy and the power of your story. And man, that just tickles me to hear the conscious decision that you made in the creation of that, and what message you would like to bring forward. Because I think there's a lot of times that there's a unconscious behavior that happens within trauma shares, and to know that that was this forefront of your mind is just so rad, Sierra. Again, I am so proud, and it has been such a rad journey to have had you come into my life the way you did, and also be around people that I love very much. There's just so much to you that I just think is such a magical, fantastic person, and I really thank you for coming here and being with us and sharing about your book that came out today called uh, Addicted to Chaos by Alice AU. And back here up in the comments has the way to be able to get that, and also Sierra's Instagram page if you want to take a gander at her amazing actual artwork as well. She is quite a versatile human being, and you are awesome, Sierra. I love you. Thank you for being here. I don't know how much she caught of that, you guys. Oh, no. Okay. All right. So we did not go straight into the meditation, as perhaps. Yeah. I don't quite understand what the technical difficulties are happening here. As I have done this show, it's always a learning
I
curve.
can't hear you again. Do you mind if
Yeah.
I log out while you do the meditation?
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to thank Sierra for being here with us today, and she's going to. It sounds like pop on to the YouTube, so you might be able to catch her here in the chat. So if you want to ask her any further questions, um, please feel free there. Again, I think we should move forward with the meditation, um, and kind of just come together as a family. All of us. Thank you for being here. And today, very much, I feel like Sierra had discussed, like when we do the meditation, we'll build our merkabas, we'll kind of set our things in the box that is inside the space, and I can walk you through that beginning part, and then igniting your your brains, your mind, your heart, your stomach. And I liked the words that Sierra had written to us, allowing that information to flow in. She talked even about the roses in there, so flowing in your own healing story, and having your power ignited within, and really there is a higher sense of source energy that we can connect and tap into at any time. And our gifts that we're given are just that. So allowing the ability to ignite them inside of us, and igniting our power. So with that, let's begin. Yes, Gary, thank you, Sierra. Thank you, Sammy, to Sierra. So both you guys, thank you, thank you. I'm going to grab a few things. Um, and we can begin wherever you guys are at. If you want to grab some water, drink some water, find a seat, taking a moment to get there, all of us. And Sierra, if you're here, thank you. We love you. That was so awesome and so rad. And all of you guys, thank you. You are also so awesome and so rad. Thank you for being here. I love you. We're going to do where we breathe in through our nose and out through our noses. And connecting our wires from our feet down to the earth, rooting, red wires, keeping ourselves grounded within our space. And when you're ready, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, place your tongue on the roof of your mouth. This allows the frequencies to run freer. Straighten your spine and breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And in your mind's eye, draw a triangle over your head. And then at each one of those points, connect your triangles below your feet. And then below your feet, draw another triangle. And connect the points of this triangle above your head. Now you have a three-dimensional triangle above your head and below you. One up, one down. And see yourself inside this space. Let's connect with the highest version of you within this space. There's a box here. Do you see it? Go over to it and open up that box. And within this box, place the worries, the fears, the negative energies, the masks, the parts of you that could be hindering you from being the highest version of you, your judgments. All of that does not need to be here in your sacred space. Here is where the gift is. Self-love. You. Your journey, your space. No one else to please but you. Off too and place it inside the box. At any point you can come back and gather or retrieve any of these, but when you're ready, close the box and come back to your space. Come back to the void, come back to the now inside your Merkaba. And now in this space with your light being, press out your toroidal field from the top of your crown. It looks like a donut. First start with a circle out from your head. Circle it up and out and around and below you and back in. And draw one also out through your wire system, out through your head, to your left, and out and down and back up into you. And continue that like a chalice around you and back in, up and out and back in. This is your toroidal field. Here in this space, you're sending out and taking in, loving you. And you have 3 brains, 3 geniuses, 3 parts that are solid working systems. Is your light being. Your crown and your third eye has something we call the mind, your brain. This is where you have your logic and your creativity. Breathe it in. Breathe on your power within your light being and ignite it. Call in the answers and the wisdom to understand how this operates. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. and journey down to your heart. The flow. Dun, 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 dun. Your heart is a system that ignites the love. This too is a brain, breeding you the guidance of what your next indicated right step is. The love, you, your heart, the ma. Your gut into your belly, into this space where instinct and balance comes into play. This too is a brain, a system, an energetic system that works for you. Experience this space. Breathe with ease. Igniting this power. You are the receiver. Receive this energy now. Three operating systems within your toroidic field. Breathe in and breathe out positive energy. Breathe in and breathe out balanced energy. See what you experience. Listen to you as I play for you. And breathe. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Doesn't it feel good to breathe without ease? I mean with ease. and without. Just be here now, within this space, within you. You are your highest version of you. You are that light. You are already love. This is a gift. Accept your gift. Accept you in all your awesomeness, in all your creations. Breathe in and out. Take your right hand and place it over your heart. Take your right hand and give the love you deserve. And place your left hand over your heart as the receiver and the giver. And then take your hands and place it over your forehead, over your third eye, your right hand as the giver, and your left hand as the receiver. And circle this energy around your space and send it out into your toroidic field. And then place your right hand over your belly, over your solar plexus as your giver, and take your left hand and place it over your right as a receiver, and circle this energy out and out into your toroidic field as far as you can imagine, and breathe it back into this space. Breathe in the energy as big, igniting all three operable systems within you, and out and in. And enjoy this space. This is you. So beautiful just to be here now with you, with people with a common purpose of love. Beautiful work. Beautiful work meeting you. Be proud of you. Beautiful work. Now take your arms and come back to this space and wrap a great big gigantic hug around you, as I am about to do with you. I love you. I love you for being here. I love you for being you in all of your authentic glory. Ask questions. Ask of your universe what's the next to do. And be your beautiful receiver that gives to you as I have given to you now. And Sierra, who took her time. What a beautiful soul. What a beautiful being. Just as you. The space feels nice. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you again to Sierra. Again, her book is available on Amazon. The and also her Instagram is here. Her Amazon is right here if you didn't get it. Take a moment to jot that down. She is so fantastic. And so are you. Come back to your space within it. So cool. So cool that we get to create and share our creations with one another. So ask yourself, What are you creating today? Are you happy with it? If not, go that way. Go find how that is happy. The space has been ignited for your next indicated step. Listen to you, your heart, your mind, your gut, and take the next right indicated step that you are shining. You're shining so bright. Awesome. Okay, guys. Thanks. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it. Please definitely get the message out there. I think we're all on such a cool similar path, and just like Sierra's words, like getting them out there, I think is very, very important for all of us to learn from brilliant minds like that, brilliant minds from the different platforms that are being provided to you now. And I am really grateful that you're here and showing willingness and eagerness to love you and love this space. And right here, look at all of these thanks. Thank you, Sierra. Thank you guys. Sorry for the tech difficulties. Love you all. You guys, when we're working with different levels and frequencies, like sometimes, the podcast like is gonna kind of have some weirdness happening. And you were just talking about turning lights on, so it's not surprising that Sierra, you would come on. You're a very powerful being. That there would be some kind of disturbance within within this platform. But I'm grateful that you were able to have your words heard here and be able to be seen. It is my pleasure, Sammy. I love you guys very much. And my pleasure. Yes, love you all too. Love you all. And yes, thank you. Thank you. So, you guys go have a beautiful day, morning, afternoon, whatever time it is where you are. And thank you for coming into this space and sharing it with us. I love you very much. And I will look forward to seeing you in here very soon. Have a great day. All right. Bye, guys.